right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Steamy struggles. The weather impact alert for 2 more days with triple-digit heat indices around St. Louis. I'm tracking when relief arrives.
Tonight, more room to play at the JJK Community Center.
It does a lot for my heart.
The new features of the planned expansion. Confusion in the county council.
We're going to continue to do business as usual.
A removed member sticking around. The hire leading to the controversy. Right now, we are still in a weather impact alert. The extreme heat hitting the whole region, and it's sticking around a little bit longer. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Our heat advisory will now be in effect until Thursday in the metro area. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. You have been following these extreme temperatures, Scott.
102 today, tying the record high, which was set back in 1881 officially from Lambert St. Louis International Airport. We have the heat advisory now extended through Thursday evening. Hot afternoons are going to continue. Listen, today was the hottest day that we're going to have in this spell. But we're not cooling off much at night. We're still 92 degrees in town right now. The showers and thunderstorms that have provided some relief, they're all to our north and west, and it appears as though we won't have much of an opportunity to see any of those storms creep our way overnight. It feels like it's still around 90, even in the outlying areas. And tomorrow, our forecast heat index values climb above 100 and probably just shy of 105 degrees. But here's the thing, tomorrow's the 3rd day. And Thursday will be the 4th day. That's consecutive of having 100+ degree heat index values. And that heat has a cumulative effect on our body. It really starts to take its toll. So we have the heat advisory for the metro area through Thursday until 7 o'clock. Yes, it's going to be a little bit cooler tomorrow and into Thursday. And yes, there's a chance we could see some scattered or isolated thunderstorms. But the big cool down is going to have to wait until later in the weekend. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
It's been a whirlwind of a day for St. Louis County Councilman Dennis Hancock. Hours ago, a judge removed Hancock from the council amid allegations of a nepotism hire.
But then a second judge restored his position. 5 on your side's Robert Townsend joins us live from Clayton, where council members met earlier today. Robert.
Kelly, Dennis Hancock is accused of hiring his stepdaughter for a county job. Now, he says it wasn't intentional and he will fight to keep his county seat. 3rd District Councilman Dennis Hancock didn't physically show up for Tuesday's St. Louis County Council meeting. Instead, he clocked in virtually on this TV screen.
Member Hancock.
Aye.
Hancock voted as usual amid stunning allegations that he hired his stepdaughter as a county administrative assistant.
I did want my daughter to come to work for me. I freely admit that. She's qualified. I trust her.
Tuesday morning, St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell filed a motion to remove Hancock for what he called a nepotism hire.
You did not intentionally commit the act of nepotism?
No, I wasn't aware that it was in the state constitution.
But Bell's petition states Hancock's stepdaughter was performing the duties of the councilman's administrative assistant as of August 19th. Bell says Hancock violated the law when he used government funds to pay his relative nearly $25 an hour.
I may have made a mistake. We rectified the mistake, and no harm was done.
The prosecutor filed a motion to expel Hancock from office. A judge signed off on that, but hours later, a different judge gave the councilman his seat back.
I'm happy that the judge ruled the way that he did.
Unfortunately, Mr. Hancock was not served, which is part of due process.
But County Executive Sam Page says in part, quote, Mr. Hancock has admitted he violated the Constitution, so the best thing he could do is to step down so the issue is no longer a distraction.
We're going to continue to do business as usual until, sometime as the judge tells me not to.
And as of right now, no future date on all of this has been set. Of course, we'll continue to follow it. Live in Clayton, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Tonight, 2 people are in the hospital after a crash on I-55. Traffic was at a standstill for close to an hour earlier this evening. The Illinois Department of Transportation says an IDOT truck was hit from behind by a semi-truck. One of the victims has life-threatening injuries. Illinois State Police are still investigating the crash. And we're learning new information about a deadly shooting in the city's Mark Twain neighborhood. Police identified the victim as 19-year-old Ryan Alexander. He was shot and killed inside his home last Saturday. Police still searching for a suspect. Alexander's family has started a GoFundMe to pay for a funeral, which has raised over $1,000.
There are new questions tonight about spending in St. Louis public schools as the board just finished considering yet another hire. Megan Kernan was at the school board meeting where officials are talking about bringing in a retired superintendent to help the district.
At tonight's school board meeting, officials discuss hiring Dr. Doylan Pruitt-Adams as a part-time consultant to help the acting superintendent, Dr. Millicent Borashade, this school year. Borashade was named acting superintendent after Superintendent Keisha Scarlett was put on leave more than a month ago. This comes as city and state leaders are auditing the district's spending. Dr. Adams is a retired superintendent from the Riverview Gardens School District. Pruitt-Adams would be paid $185 an hour as a part-time consultant with a cap of $40,000 in pay overall. The school board's president, Tony Cousins, says Pruitt-Adams would serve as a mentor, providing 5 to 6 hours a week of support to Borashade.
The district is going through some challenges, and as an interim superintendent, she's going to need someone with the expertise that Dr. Pruitt-Adams has to come in and give her support through this time.
The proposal will be voted on in 2 weeks on September 10th. If it's approved, the contract would be from September to June 2025. Reporting in downtown St. Louis, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
Tonight, a former Franklin County middle school coach is behind bars charged with multiple sex crimes with a minor. Former Riverbend Middle School coach Dustin Cowsert appeared in court today pleading not guilty to 6 felony counts for sex crimes with a student. Merrimack Valley Superintendent says that Cowsert was placed on leave before the school year and has been terminated. Local child advocates say parents and teachers need to watch for signs of abuse.
You notice changes in behavior, things that seem off, maybe they're a little withdrawn, maybe they don't like to go to school anymore, just those changes, and then starting to have those conversations and being ready for whatever comes at you.
The district is fully cooperating with the investigation.
Missouri's Planned Parenthood is fighting for its funding. Planned Parenthood, Great Rivers and Great Plains filed a lawsuit against Missouri after being told they're being removed from Missouri's Medicaid program tomorrow. Affiliates hope to block this law to get reimbursed for helping Medicaid patients. This is the 3rd time lawmakers have tried to block funding to Planned Parenthood in Missouri. 5 on your side's political analysts weighed in on the legal battle.
So far, the courts in Missouri have seemed to say that Missouri cannot discriminate against a health care provider who receives Medicaid funding according to federal law. And so that would likely be the case again. It's not clear why this situation would be different than it has been in the past.
Experts say this could be a 2-year-long case. Planned Parenthood plans to keep accepting Medicaid patients when the law activates tomorrow. Other Missouri laws will also go into effect tomorrow. That includes a raise to the minimum salary for teachers to $40,000 a year. The changes to the senior property tax freeze also kick in, allowing those now 62 and older to apply. There are also multiple new public safety laws coming, such as one raising the age a minor can be tried as an adult to 14 years old.
Tonight, a hometown hero is on a quest to give more children in the Metro East a chance to thrive. Right now, construction is underway on a major expansion of the Jackie Joyner Kersey Center in East St. Louis. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon has a look at the multi-million-dollar makeover.
Y'all know what you're doing? What we gonna do? Tell me.
For most people, you don't get to look a decorated Olympian in the face every day. That's not the case for these young people.
Sometimes the first one here, the last one leave.
Despite a team in place, Jackie Joyner Kersey wants to see the magic that's changing lives.
They love seeing me as much as I love seeing them. And I think you have to lead by example.
For 24 years now, children and families have come to the JJK Center in East St. Louis for academics, sports, and arts and crafts. Now they're ready to take it to the next level.
Whole campus is right about 100 acres, so we're constantly building.
This year, the center broke ground for a big expansion. This will soon be the site of the JJK Fan Innovation Center, featuring classroom space.
It'll also have an amphitheater
and a community kitchen to prepare healthy food that's grown on site.
So we're going to have aquaponics as well, and the green and grow space that is there, so we'll be able to grow food in there all year round. That's one of the other grow spaces.
The expansion is music to the ears of parents who have fond memories of this place.
Rain, sleet, or snow, we were here.
This 33-year-old came here as a third grader.
And all the programs we had here helped cultivate everything that I do now, from basketball all the way to computers.
He now has a master's degree and brings his daughter so she can make something of herself.
Yes, it inspires me, motivate me, to keep doing what I'm doing.
The miracle on 25th Street, the house that Jackie built, is now no longer just a house. We're developing into an entire campus where we can continue to service the community.
And it was amazing to see that work in action. The $20 million addition is expected to be finished sometime next year. It will also boast new fields for baseball, football, and soccer, and a wrestling center. Private donors and state funding make it possible.
We are learning more about why organizers canceled a popular barbecue festival in downtown St. Louis. Last night, organizers canceled Q in the Lou, saying they couldn't get enough corporate sponsors, saying in a statement it was due to downtown public safety concerns. Now, a spokesperson for St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones says there may have been issues within the group. Mayor Jones's office hopes to continue conversations over the next few months about bringing Q in the Lou back next year.
The NAACP calling out an education failure.
I'm not surprised by the numbers.
Black students getting left behind in school. What needs to change to save St. Louis students? Former President Donald Trump indicted again in the election interference case. The changes in the new filing.
Thunderstorms may bring some of us brief relief from the heat the next couple of days, but that's far from certain. The weather impact alert now extending through Thursday evening. We track how high those heat indices climb the next couple of afternoons.
St. Louis's NAACP is sounding the alarm over what it calls systemic educational inequities impacting black students in the region.
Tonight, our senior investigative reporter Paula Fasson investigates these findings and the potential implications for the future of education.
The NAACP in St. Louis has filed a complaint with the U.S. Department of Education over what it calls educational failures. The organization found black students in the city of St. Louis are on average more than 4 grade levels behind the national average in reading, based on the latest data available. The analysis, using Stanford University data, revealed that reading level declines during the pandemic in St. Louis were, on average, steeper than those in comparable cities like Baltimore, Chicago, and Newark.
I'm not surprised by the numbers.
Tracy Block leads a nonprofit called the Missouri Disability Empowerment Foundation.
It really validates what we've already been dealing with. Since we work with special education families who are trying to fight for services for their children, it's really getting more difficult to prove that a learning disability is actually taking place when everyone is universally behind, especially certain subsets of people.
What needs to be done right now to solve this problem?
We could look at increasing teacher pay, making sure that the training is up to date on how to teach these skills.
The NAACP warns that these educational gaps could have severe consequences for St. Louis students, diminishing their competitiveness in college admissions and job opportunities. The organization is calling for increased funding, innovative teaching methods, and stronger community engagement to address these setbacks.
We reached out to St. Louis Public Schools. No response by our deadline. The Missouri Charter Public School Association tells us in part that while students are making progress, much more work is left to be done. For the I-Team, Paula Vassan, 5 on your side.
And if you have a tip for Paula, you can leave a voice message at 314-444-5231, or you can send her an email to paula@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
During the DNC last week, a few Republicans spoke in support of Vice President Kamala Harris's presidential run.
And now we're learning that more than 200 politicians from the other side of the aisle are backing her. The group signed a letter formally endorsing Harris for president. In it, they say they may not agree with her policies, yet the alternative is, quote, untenable.
I know it's not easy for Republicans, stalwart Republicans, people that have been on the trenches. I know it's not easy. But the reality is, if he gets back into the White House, God knows what's going to happen to our great nation.
President Biden received a boost from a similar group during the 2020 election.
Tonight, former President Trump faces a new indictment in the January 6th case. Special counsel Jack Smith filed the suit after revising the original suit against Trump. None of the charges were dropped, but prosecutors added more detailed allegations against him. It comes after the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling that grants former presidents broad immunity for official acts in office. And the indictment comes after Mr. Trump added two big names to his team. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and former Representative Tulsi Gabbard joined his transition team. Both former Democrats endorsed Trump recently. The Trump campaign says they hope this shows they can gain support from across party lines.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell rejoins us now at the weather impact forecast, and it looks like we're going to have a couple more days of this hot weather, Scott.
Not quite as hot as it was today, but yes, tomorrow afternoon, Thursday afternoon, both of those are going to be hot and humid still. The only thing that could save us from that would be brief relief from thunderstorms. Speaking of which, they have been up in northern Illinois around Chicago, so there may still be a few flight delays tonight into tomorrow, kind of lingering as you deal with the residual effects of storms in the Chicago area because it tends to slow air traffic down. 102 for the high today, tying the record, 1881. That's a long-standing record, and 81 for the low temperature this morning. Don't think we're going below that before the end of the day, so that would also be, we believe, the highest low temperature for the day. We're still at 92 degrees and it still feels like 99. It's pretty thick out there. 72 is your dew point right now. Only near 80 for the low tonight in St. Louis. Outlying areas even still in the 70s. Now, it's mostly clear outside of a random storm chance, especially north of St. Louis. And yes, the heat advisory is extended until Thursday now for the metro area. That does include St. Charles, Franklin, Jefferson counties in Missouri, as well as Monroe, St. Clair, and Madison counties in Illinois. Heat index won't be quite as high, but it's the third and fourth day on the way of this dangerous heat. And when you couple it for that long, these two things together and those heat index values above 100, it really starts to take its toll. So make sure you're getting plenty of water. Don't overexert yourself outside. Use that air conditioning. Stay out of the sun. Don't forget the kids and the pets. They don't need to be in a car, and they don't need to be, you know, especially the animals, outside without water and shade. They'd like air conditioning too. It's still in the 80s in the outlying areas. Look how noisy it is to the north of us tonight along the Missouri-Iowa border heading over towards Chicago. There's a lot of people not getting sleep tonight because of these big thunderstorms that are up that way. No sign that they're going to sag our way. They've generally been drifting to the north, but again, complexes of thunderstorms this time of year, especially when they're rotating around a big upper level ridge like this, they tend to create their own weather. And we will see as we go into tomorrow if some of this northern activity can influence development for shower and thunderstorm chances for us as we head into tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. It's certainly possible we'll have some scattered storms around, but we can't guarantee much. One thing about it, they probably don't move all that fast. 94 for the high tomorrow, 97 on Thursday. Both days, you're looking at those heat index values approaching 105 in the urban corridor. On Friday, we're still hot and steamy. There's a little better storm chance at times on Friday. Hard to pin it down right now. Hopefully, it doesn't impact Friday night high school football. And over the weekend, the chances for rain tend to shift south of St. Louis, and eventually by Sunday into Monday and Tuesday, drier air will filter in here.
That will be nice.
It will be incredibly nice early next week.
Thank you, Scott.
Sports is next.
You go.
Well, I wish I came bearing better Cardinals news, but tonight was another rough one at Busch. We do have college football to look forward to, though. We'll check in with our regional teams coming up in sports.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
Well, if you went to this Cardinals game tonight in person, you are going first ballot into the Fan Hall of Fame. It was 98 degrees at first pitch, and the Cardinals have not exactly been inspiring lately. Tonight did not break that trend. Here's the obligatory attendance shot to open things up. 27,224 announced attendance tonight, a new non-COVID restriction low. Cards did get out to a nice 2-0 lead, but the fourth inning was rough for Miles Michaelis. 4 runs in the inning, including that smash from Manny Machado. 4-2 in the third, and you can put this one at the top of the Victor Scott highlight reel. What a play at the wall to rob Jackson Merrill. Michaelis can't believe it. Neither can Merrill, who's going to show Scott some respect for that really nice play. 4-3 Padres in the fifth until Paul Goldschmidt gets into one. Goldie's 20th. Cards are up 5-4. But not so fast. Padres retake the lead in the seventh off John King on a Jake Cronenworth hit. They would finish the job. Manny Machado with a dazzling defensive play to cap it off. Padres win 7-5. The Cardinals fall further back in the playoff chase.
I felt like several times you could have buried them at one point in that game and created a big enough gap where it was difficult for them to come back. And I felt like our inability to kind of come through in that situation was tough.
By this time on Thursday night, your college football thirst will be quenched. We have a triple header of regional teams in action. 2 will be trying to avoid any drama against big-time underdogs. The third will be looking for a historic upset. The Division I Lindenwood Lions will travel to play the 22nd-ranked Kansas Jayhawks in Kansas City, Kansas on Thursday. This is Lindenwood's first game against an FBS team since the Lions went to Division I. Yes, they are major underdogs with KU favored by 45 points. But the Lions are embracing playing on a big stage to start the season.
You know, I want to see how they handle the stage. You know, a lot of these guys haven't played in a game of this magnitude, and it's a great opportunity. The electricity is going to be awesome, and I want to see how they handle the stage. How do they handle the outside noise? And I think it's a great test to see our maturity and our confidence going into a game like this. And it'll be good to find out just how mature we've come. I think that'll be first and foremost.
Yes, it is uniform reveal season in college football. Mizzou going with their all-black look in their horse-themed Week 1 reveal. The opponent on Thursday is Murray State. Missouri is a 48-point favorite, but with a lack of information known about this new-look Racers team, Coach Drinkwitz is not taking anything lightly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge. There's really no way to watch Murray State film because, you know, they've got brand new offense, defense, and special teams coordinators. They got 60 new players. So, you know, you can watch their schemes from last year to try to see what their players are, but they're not going to be running the exact same stuff.
It was roster cut-down day in the NFL, and St. Louis native and former Mizzou star Cody Schrader got some bad news. The 49ers waived the running back today. He is expected to have a place on the San Francisco practice squad if he isn't signed by another organization. Go ahead and doubt Cody Schrader at your own risk. Better news for Trinity and Illinois grad Isaiah Williams, seen here as a youngster with his now Detroit Lions teammate Jamison Williams. Isaiah was an undrafted receiver, but made the team anyways today. He is the 6th St. Louis area native for the Lions, joining Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, Jack Fox, Makai Wingo, and Michael Neese. I caught up with Jamison Williams earlier this summer and asked him about the STL influence in Detroit.
There's no other team ever sports probably had that many St. Louis people on there at one time. You know, that's probably almost like that's almost like if a lot of people from the same state go to a college or something. Like, people don't usually do that a lot, but there's no other reason why you shouldn't root for somebody from your hometown, man.
Yeah, I don't have the stats off the top of my head, but I don't think we've ever had 6 players from our area on the
really
same
impressive
team.
too.
I've got a new team to root
Go
for.
Lions. Thanks, Corey.
All right.
The show must go on. See how the Kelsey brothers are reaching new heights for their podcast.
You're going to be hearing a lot more of the Kelsey brothers soon. Jason and Travis Kelsey made a deal with Amazon to produce their podcast, New Heights. The deal is worth $100 million. The 2 football players say they are, quote, thrilled about this next phase.
No kidding.
Well, of course they are.
Mizzou fans have something else to be excited for ahead of the football season. Bud Light revealed their new Tiger beer bottles. They're around for only a limited time. They can be found at stores across Missouri.
One final check of our forecast.
All right, I want to show you what's going on with our weather impact alert. Not for storms, but there are storms tonight. Northern portions of Missouri, northern portions of Illinois. It's doubtful we're going to see much of that heading towards St. Louis. We take the lightning strikes off of there, and you can see how much heavy rain's ongoing now as you head into northwest, north central Missouri, and then stretching up towards the Quad Cities and then south of Chicago. Most of that's going to have a hard time as we go through the nighttime hours continuing to exist. But tomorrow, at least a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Problem is we're still humid. We're still outside of any rain opportunities in the low to mid 90s. That means the heat index 100 to 105 degrees tomorrow, again on Thursday. And so the heat advisory for the metro area continues as tomorrow and Thursday will make days 3 and 4 of this heat, with the heat index during the afternoon above 100 degrees. Friday will be close to that, but we start a trend as we head into the weekend of some drier air arriving, especially by later Sunday. And by Monday and Tuesday, maybe a little below average, only around 80 for high. Labor Day itself looks absolutely outstanding. I think we're going to be good for the
MDA telethon on Sunday,
nice.
Sunday
Some
night.
relief.
That's good. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.